Hey Pajama Bosses, this is Masha, and in today's live stream, I want to share with you the 3 performance indicators that leaders use to literally drive duplication and momentum in their network marketing business. So if you're just joining me live, if you're listening in and you're in network marketing and you're actually looking to grow large teams internationally, then you're in the right place. If you haven't met me before, my name is Masha and I'm the co-founder of Pajama Bosses. And in these live streams, I want to share all the information, all the things that I've learned in my 12 plus years experience in network marketing to be able to grow literally multi-million dollar businesses around the world. So if you're here and you want to grow a large team of people, drop a 1 below this video. Say, large team of people. Tell me also your name and where you're dialing in from. I'm super excited because we talk a lot about the duplication strategies, the duplication systems, but actually the targets, the KPIs, the key performance indicators are often missed by leaders. And if you actually want to be one of these people that knows exactly how to work with people and create leaders, actually build leaders within your team, then you're going to be very excited to know that there's key performance indicators that we all need to be aware of, that we need to use, and that actually drive the behavior in the right direction so that you can create large teams of people, drive massive duplication, and really create that long-term residual income. So, are you excited? Are you guys ready for number 1? Here's the first one. The key performance indicator that you really need to use is setting weekly goals within your teams. Now, how do we set these goals? Miguel and I have always been the advocates of setting goals weekly, and not just that, actually helping our leaders, helping our first core leadership, first level of leaders to help these goals on a weekly basis. Now, if you've never done that, you're gonna actually have to reach out to your leaders. You're gonna actually probably have to do a little training with the leaders, and you're gonna want to actually teach them and train them how to set goals. Now, I'm not talking just about SMART goals, and I'm sure you've all set SMART goals before. I'm talking about one indicator, one number that you all need to set for yourself, such as your income or your turnover. That's it. Because that is actually very indicative of duplication. We're not talking about how many people you're going to talk to, how many people you're going to sponsor, but the only one thing which is actually important, which is either your turnover or your income goal. Now, when you're helping leaders set that goal, it's not just enough for them to give you the number. It's really important they also actually give you the strategy that they will follow within their teams and with their leaders, and how they're actually going to accomplish that. Does that make sense? That makes sense. Drop a 2 down below this video. Say, yeah, it makes sense, Masha. Right? So the first key performance indicator that you need to use to drive momentum and create massive duplication is actually weekly goal setting. So obviously you're going to start doing that for yourself and practicing. And so for example, you're going to have a turnover goal or an income goal that you're going to go for, and you're going to set yourself a specific strategy to achieve that, such as, for example, for these $5,000 income that I want to achieve this week, I will need to have these teams do these events and bring in this many packages, and this many teams are going to have to do some home meetings and so on. So you need to have a detailed plan of how that's going to actually happen. Now, what you really need to be getting into is helping your first level leadership to actually do the same as what you're doing. And so, like I said, if you've never done that before, you got to start that slowly, and probably for the next 4 to 6 weeks, consistently train and teach them so they actually do that. So the first thing is weekly goals. So when you actually get your first, core leadership, first layer leadership, that is your top 5 to 10 leaders that are really, your core and helping you to grow this business. When you get them into the habit of setting weekly goals and being able to tell you the breakdown of how they will achieve them, and that usually actually takes time. It may take 4, 6 weeks, even 12 weeks. You got to be really persistent in engaging your leaders, in giving you the goals, and actually working with them and not making them feel bad if they don't know how to do that, but actually continuously helping them to do that. Does that make sense? Now, what is this going to do for your business? You see, if you not only yourself are setting your goals, but you know your strategy, and you're now starting to teach that to your top 5 to 10 leaders, don't you think that in your team there's going to be some exact strategy of what is about to happen for the next 7 days? Now, I believe 7-day goals are much more powerful than 30-day goals, although you should set those as well. Monthly goals are certainly important, but 7-day goals are crucial because it is long enough for us to take action and get results, but it is also short enough for us that if we don't quite achieve that goal, being able to reset our goal and go again. And so I always tell people, look, goals are not there for us to always achieve them. Goals are there so we can move in the right direction. Drop a 2 down below this video if you've just had a little breakthrough right there, right? It's not just about achieving those goals, it's about moving in the right direction. So for the next 4, 6, 12 weeks, as you're helping your leaders set those goals and helping them to learn how to get the strategies in place to actually achieve those goals, be really patient, because it's not about these leaders achieving those goals each and every single week. It's about them getting into the habit of setting those goals and driving their momentum, driving their duplication within their teams. That's the first performance indicator. Now, if you've just learned something, drop a 3 down below this video. And I see Joanne has just joined, Joanna has just joined. I see people from around the world, United States, Europe, Australia are joining in. So if you're from Australia, put a 3 down below this video. If you're from Europe, put a 2 down below this video. If you're from North America, put a 4 down below this video. Hey Grady, awesome to have you as well. So the second thing that is really important as a leader that you must drive in your business is monthly 30-day sprints. Now, if you know anything about Pajama Bosses, you know we have a very well-known and best-selling program called Q Momentum. And within Q Momentum, we teach about how it's important to vary the degree of intensity of the activity that you're actually doing in your business, including your team, right? So if you're always, just telling your team, recruit, 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 intensity, 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 don't you think that people will very quickly actually, die off with their activity and get tired with pushing, pushing, pushing? So it's really important that within the 30 days, you have varying degrees of intensity and varying degrees of what people are actually focusing on. And if you've actually heard about Q Momentum, you know that it goes through 3 different phases. The first phase being mobilization, the second ignition, and the third phase, which is the final 7 days of each month of a 30-day cycle. Could be the last 7 days, could be any 7 days, but there are certainly the 7 days post a major event. These 7 days are called the momentum phase. And in this short phase, you're going to double and triple the activity. And see, what that does for duplication and momentum is, as you're varying the degrees of intensity, you're focusing for 7 days to bring lots of people in, but then you're slowing down the recruiting and actually engaging these people to be able to actually start to duplicate. Does that make sense? And so as you're learning and as you're teaching your first level leadership, your second level leadership to engage in 30-day cycles, to go from event to event, and if you're not already creating monthly events, probably this is one reason you don't have massive momentum and massive duplication in your team. So really importantly, you must remember 30-day cycles with a monthly event, varying degrees of intensity, and that is something that creates massive momentum and massive duplication. Again, you need to be patient. Will you create massive duplication and massive momentum within the first 30 days? No. It sometimes takes 3, even 6 months to engage our teams to create duplication through those 30-day cycles and varying degrees of intensity. Does that make sense? And so be really patient and make sure you're engaging your team, engaging your team members. So that is the second KPI, and really the KPI that you're following in there is giving your team the exact activity that they need to be taking action on each and every single day within the different phases of a 30-day cycle. Now, if you want to know more about those 30-day cycles, make sure you join our free group. It's called Duplication Secrets. I might make a video for that group just particular later on, so go to the free group and join it. The link is just about this video. And then we have the third one. The third key performance indicator is actually this, and that is your weekly leadership, high-level leadership call. So, what is really important is that you're starting to work really closely with your leaders. If you know anything about duplication, it's all about building and creating more leaders, right? And while you can have systems to support it, what is really important is that you're creating more and more new leaders. Now, on that leadership call that you're doing each and every single week, the key performance indicator that you're following is actually the numbers of those leaders on those calls. And you can have actually a behavior-based permission for people to attend those calls. Like, quite often it can be only people that sponsor 2 people or more within the last 7 days. And so you have behaviors kind of based incentives for people to join those calls. And on those calls, your key performance indicator is actually how many people have done that. Now, how would you like to have a team of people, let's say 100 people who joins your call each and every single week, and they're sponsoring 2 people a week consistently? See, it's often not about hundreds of people, recruiting them a week. It's about consistently recruiting 1 or 2 people a week for 5 years to create massive incomes in network marketing. So, if you think that it's important to go out and sponsor 300 people in the space of 10 days when you join your business, and then starting to work with the ones that pop up and are the most excited, probably in the next 90 days, you're gonna find yourself again recruiting 300 people. But if you're consistently, helping yourself and your team recruit 1 or 2 people a week, what's going to happen? And if you're driving behavior-based incentives into a leadership call of people who you're actually helping to advance, and your key performance indicator is the number of people on that call, guess what? You're growing your business. And anything to do with duplication, you probably understood that it needs to be supported by duplication systems. That's number 1. But number 2, if you don't know what you need to be growing, what performance indicators you're growing, you don't really know how your duplication is doing. So I wanted in this video to give you 3 key performance indicators that you should watch and you should be growing each and every single week, so that you're actually working with the leaders in your team and growing leaders in your team, and in that way driving behavior-based incentives through duplication. And so hopefully that really helps you. And if you want to know more information like this, go to our free community. It's called Duplication Secrets, and I am so passionate about helping leaders to create more duplication and scale their businesses to 6 and 7 figures, because I have for the last 12 years experienced an incredible residual income through creating duplication. And literally, once you experience duplication and massive incomes that don't depend on you, where you can take yourself out of the equation, that is where the magic lies. So if you want to know more about duplication, join us in the Duplication Secrets group. I'm going to approve you if you go there right now and request to be a member. And I'm going to do another video right there and then about how you can create the 30-day cycles that drive more momentum. If you were on this video and you really got some value, please drop a 1 below this video. And if you have any questions, drop a question below. I'm gonna reach out to every single one of you and give you a shout out if you've shared this. Definitely, if you shared this video, thank you, and it will tell me that you're getting value, and I will keep making this video. But in the meantime, start taking action on these 3 key performance indicators, and I look forward to talking to you again very soon.